The Krynor slave markets of Theta Station had operated for 6 centuries without interruption. Thousands of species passed through its holding cells, conquered peoples, indentured laborers, war prisoners. The Krynor Syndicate controlled the entire sector, and the Galactic Council looked the other way. Some evils were too profitable to oppose. Overseer Draxmol reviewed the latest acquisitions with satisfaction. 200 Pelthian refugees, 50 Zendari miners, and, most valuable, 12 humans. Rare. Durable. Fetched premium prices from arena masters and labor colonies. The humans arrived unconscious, his assistant reported. Sleeping gas during their colony ship's raid. No resistance. Excellent. Prep them for tomorrow's auction. The station's alarms shrieked. Every screen flickered red. Draxmol's blood chilled as he read the tactical display. A Terran warship had just dropped from hyperspace. One ship. Alone. Directly above Theta Station. Impossible, Draxmol whispered. Earth is 40 light-years away. They have no military presence in this sector. The communication channels opened without permission, humanity's signal overriding every system on the station. A woman's face appeared, dark-skinned, gray-haired, her eyes harder than neutronium. This is Admiral Keisha Okafor of the Terran Defense Fleet, commanding the UNSS Reckoning. You are holding 12 human citizens taken from colony ship New Dawn 3 weeks ago. Her voice was ice. You have 1 hour to release them and every other sentient being in your slave pens. After that, I stop asking nicely. Draxmol laughed, recovering his composure. One ship against an entire station? We have defensive platforms, 300 security forces, and syndicate backup 15 minutes away. You're either brave or suicidal, Admiral. Okafor's expression didn't change. I'm efficient. 59 minutes. The channel closed. Draxmol sneered. Activate defense grid. Target that ship. The defensive platforms exploded. All 27 of them, simultaneously. Not destroyed, they simply ceased to exist, consumed by precise lance strikes from weapons Draxmol's sensors couldn't even classify. How? His tactical officer stammered. Their weapons range, it's impossible. They're firing from 0.8 light seconds with 0 dispersion. The Reckoning hadn't moved. It just hung there, its weapons ports glowing with barely restrained power. Then it did something that made every military mind on the station freeze. It transmitted detailed schematics of Theta Station's internal structure. We've mapped every corridor, Okafor's voice returned. Every cell. Every guard position. I know where my people are. I know where the others are. And I know exactly where you're standing, Overseer Draxmol. Deck 7, Command Center, 3rd seat from the left. Draxmol jumped from his chair as if it had burned him. Here's what happens next, Okafor continued. You open every cell. You provide ships for repatriation. You surrender for trial. Or, she paused, I demonstrate why humanity doesn't negotiate with slavers. You're bluffing, Draxmol said, but his voice cracked. Galactic law doesn't apply to criminals operating outside Council space, Okafor interrupted. You chose to work in the lawless sectors. That means you're subject to our law now. 30 minutes. Draxmol's hands shook as he reached for the Syndicate emergency beacon. Before he could activate it, his console exploded in sparks. Through the smoke, he heard Okafor's voice, almost gentle now. I already destroyed your beacon. And your backup power. And the 3 courier ships trying to escape dock. No one's coming to help you, Draxmol. It's just you, your slavers, and me. The station shuddered as something massive locked onto its hull, magnetic grapples, pinning them in place. Through the viewports, Draxmol saw drop pods launching from the Reckoning. Terran Marines. Special Operations. Coming not to negotiate, but to extract. 20 minutes, Okafor said. Start opening cells or I open this entire station to vacuum and sort survivors later. Your choice. Draxmol's fingers flew across the console. Releasing prisoners. All of them. Just don't. Too late for mercy, Okafor replied coldly. You'll release them because that's the minimum requirement for you to live long enough to stand trial. My Marines are coming for you anyway. The cells opened. Thousands of captives flooded the corridors as Terran Marines breached the station with surgical precision. They weren't there to destroy, they were there to rescue and arrest. Every slaver was identified, tagged, and detained. Every captive was catalogued and protected. When the dust settled, Draxmol found himself in restraints, face to face with Admiral Okafor in the station's brig. One ship, he whispered bitterly. You did this with one ship. One ship, Okafor confirmed. And the absolute certainty that humans don't leave their people behind. Ever. She leaned close. You want to know why we built warships this powerful? Because we learned a long time ago that evil flourishes when good people stay quiet. We're done being quiet. Draxmol was transferred to Earth for trial, along with 347 other slavers. Theta Station became a Terran-run humanitarian way station. And across the galaxy, slavers learned a new rule. Touch a human, and the reckoning comes.